Are we ready for the community spotlight? So today, Trina Allen is a licensed clinical social worker and the executive director of the Ada County Victim Services Center in Boise, Idaho, with over 2 decades of experience serving children and families in the Treasure Valley. Trina brings a deep commitment to trauma-informed care and collaborative service delivery.
Well, thank you, everybody, for welcoming me and for allowing me to have this opportunity to speak to you about the Ada County Victim Services Center. So for those of you that may not be familiar with the Ada County Victim Services Center, we are located at 417 South 6th Street in Boise. We have gone through a name change. We used to be called FACES. However, the Faces of Hope nonprofit arm is no longer housed inside our building. And so we have rebranded, and we've rebranded it as the Ada County Victim Services Center. Could I have the next slide, please? So our mission is partners collaborating to provide medical and mental health care, legal and financial advocacy, and justice for crime victims and their families. Our vision is to provide a safe place where victims and their families are treated with dignity and respect, and where they receive comprehensive and compassionate and healing services. That is all steeped in our values, which represent the acronym RISE, and that's with respect, integrity, and service with compassion and excellence. We've been providing service here at this location since 2006. We were founded by the Ada County Prosecutor's Office and our Ada County commissioners. So the folks that we help are survivors and victims and their families of sexual assault, domestic violence, child abuse, elder abuse, human trafficking, and stalking. And that is a really large undertaking. So because we are providing service for such a wide variety of folks that have experienced true victimization, we can only do that through our partnerships. We are based on a victim center model, and that really is a collaborative approach. So we house multiple partnerships in order to provide such trauma-informed and extensive services. Could I please have the next slide? So one of the ways that we are able to do that, like I said, is through our partnerships. So this slide to me really speaks to my heart, because our logo, when we did the rebranding, we really took time and consideration in creating our new logo. I think it's beautiful, but one of the things that is really important about this is that each color of inside our logo represents the populations that we serve. So yellow is for the color of awareness for stalking. Teal is a color of awareness for sexual assault. Blue is a color of awareness for child abuse, as well as human trafficking. And purple is a color of awareness for domestic violence and elder abuse. And I know that we're all here because we care about our older community and certainly our caregivers. But here in the state, our statute is not just defined by elder abuse, it's actually defined by vulnerable adults. So that can maybe create some challenges in the definition of vulnerable adults. And so we kind of use our elder abuse and vulnerable adults as the same. So since 2006, our partnerships they've varied, but one of our very first partnerships is St. Luke's. So inside our building, we house our Child Advocacy Center, and that is through St. Luke's. So St. Luke's is a really important partner for our Child Advocacy Center. They see about 1,400 children a year. We also, St. Luke's supports our sexual assault and domestic violence medical follow-up clinic. And then we have partnership with both St. Luke's and St. Alphonsus, and they support it's called the Ada County Community Safe Team. And that is our on-call sexual assault forensic nurses that are able to do forensic sexual assault and domestic violence forensic exams in-house. So our center actually has 2 medical clinics inside. The other partnerships that we value and are really proud of is our partnerships with our law enforcement. So we house approximately 15 detectives in at our site, and they're with the Boise Police Special Victims Unit, as well as their juvenile unit. They are investigating all of our child abuse allegations for Boise City, and they're also investigating internet crimes against children, domestic violence, as well as they are investigating health and welfare referrals and juvenile on juvenile crimes. The folks that with Boise City that are investigating our elder abuse or vulnerable adult cases, they are connected to our violent crimes unit with Boise Police, and they're housed at the Mark Stahl facility. We also are in strong partnership with Meridian Police, Garden City Police, and the Ada County Sheriff's Office. I think sometimes people think, oh, if I was a victim of a crime, it had to have occurred in Ada County, but that's actually not true. If we have lots of other partners coming in from our surrounding communities, including Boise County, Valley County, all of primarily our 7 surrounding smaller counties, more rural counties. The other partnership that we have is with Idaho Legal Aid. We were just awarded a grant in conjunction with Family Court Services and Women and Children's Alliance, and we will soon have a full-time Idaho Legal Aid attorney inside that will be able to help for free of charge folks that are needing to apply for protection orders. Maybe they're filing for divorce because they're leaving an unsafe situation. And so just a variety of different components that maybe they might need to have some legal assistance. We are in partnership with Tonta Incorporated, and they provide counseling services free of charge for victims of domestic violence and stalking. So when we're considering working with vulnerable adults or elder abuse, sometimes we think of just this one lane, but oftentimes our older communities members are also victims of sexual assault or domestic violence, certainly financial crimes as well. And so we really want our older community to know that they can certainly access services here as well. We are also in partnership with Terry Riley. And Terry Riley, we have 2 trauma-informed counselors that are here from their trauma and resiliency clinic. They are providing counseling 4 days a week. They are seeing adult victims of sexual assault as well as children that there are allegations of abuse. Terry Riley also provides a patient navigator, which is kind of like a case manager. So anybody that fits our criteria that comes into the center or is accessing services at the center, they are able to access a patient navigator / case manager free of charge as well. And that person, Zoe Cook, is really proficient in understanding our local resources. She can help apply for self-sustaining resources, including food stamps, but other things like applying for housing. Maybe they might need help applying for Social Security. All those really complicated applications. Zoe is able to help with that. We are in partnership with the Women and Children's Alliance. They are an amazing organization that they have. They provide court advocacy. They provide case management. They also have their shelter where if folks that are needing emergency shelter and they are leaving an unsafe situation, they can certainly go through the WCA to get go through their criteria to get qualified for their emergency shelter. We are also in partnership with the Department of Health and Welfare through Child Protection Services. We also house Adult Protective Services. We have not their whole unit, but we certainly have two of their providers that are here on Mondays and Fridays. So we are really excited to and appreciate their partnership as well. If somebody is calling into the center, or maybe they come into the center that need help, that are leaving an unsafe situation, or just have questions, then we certainly want to get them connected to Adult Protective Services. We can also help get them connected if they would like to file a report with law enforcement, or if they just need to talk to somebody to understand what the process is. We are also in partnership with the Idaho Network of Child Advocacy Centers. They do a lot of statewide education on the importance of multidisciplinary teams, and they provide also education on protecting children for folks, whether they have children or they're just working in the field, or they care about children. So we want to make sure that everybody knows how to protect not only our older age community, but also our children. We are in partnership with the Nampa Family Justice Center, and we provide a lot of overlap service. And there's some things that they provide that we don't. So we are always in partnership with them as well. They also have 2 grants for human trafficking. And so we refer a lot of folks over to their center when they have been identified as victims of human trafficking. We have a very unique relationship with the Ada County paramedics. We are considered an alternative destination site. So when folks are victims of domestic violence or sexual assault, and the ambulance has maybe responded with law enforcement or maybe without law enforcement, that happens a lot, they are able to bring those folks directly down here if they do not need emergency room help, then we actually can see them here. And then, of course, our Ada County Prosecutor's Office, they have been, of course, a long-standing support and advocate for the Ada County Victim Services Center. They have a program called Domestic Violence Case Orientation Program Resource Program. And so every morning we get a list of who has been arrested for domestic violence. And we are reaching out to those victims, inviting them to come down to the center to make sure that their medical needs are met, to let them meet with a prosecutor to understand what the next steps are, and then really start getting them with wraparound services. We also have a nonprofit that helps support some of our additional services for self-sustaining, like food and gas cards and emergency hotel stays, clothing, diapers, lock changes, those kinds of things that can be very valuable when, no matter what their age is, if they're leaving an unsafe situation. So some of the services that I've kind of talked about are, we have counseling, safety planning, free filing workshops, support for civil protection orders and assistance, case management, patient navigation, free medical forensic exams, free follow-up medical care, criminal case orientation, and law enforcement reporting. Next slide, please. I'm hoping I'm staying on time. So I just talked about our additional resources. We do have emergency hotel stays. We have transportation. So if somebody is, and I know for our aging community, sometimes the isolation and not having available transportation, if somebody needs to come to the center, they just need to call us and then we can send a lift to pick them up and bring them down here. We have gas and grocery cards. We have track phones, lock changes, video doorbell cameras, clothing, personal hygiene, all those really important services that can seem, gosh, so simple as undergarments or a warm jacket, those kinds of things. We really want to make sure that everybody has what they need before they leave the center. Next
And
slide,
Trina, if
please.
we can move a little bit more quickly, we need to, oh, here, I
Yep.
think we
Okay.
might be here. Okay.
So I'm just wrapping right up. One thing that is really important is that we need everybody to know that our building is open 24/7. You are welcome to come down to the center for if you need your medical needs met for a forensic exam. We take folks that are walking in off the street. We take referral. It's just important to know where we're located. You can call us at 208-577-4400. If you'd like a tour of the center, please reach out to me. I'd be happy to give that to you. If you have any more questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Wonderful information.
Okay, so I have a question. You mentioned grants. Is that the only way that you are funded?
No, actually, so we are funded by multiple different ways. So my small but mighty team and the house and our building, we are all connected to the county. So that is your taxpayers at your tax dollars at its finest. Honestly, we provide gold standard support. So my team, the county does not apply for like federal grants. Now, each agency that is housed inside, they are their own self-sustaining program. So some of them do apply for grants, federal grants, and some other grants, but they manage their own programs. So
That's great.